So are you people able to hear me? Hello. Okay, great. Good evening, all of you. Yeah, very good evening. So let's start. So today, okay, I'll do one thing. Okay, I need one more session for the hibernate. I'll do it, but I would like to talk about web services today. Okay, let's let's do this. So what are web services? Can you people tell me? So what do you people know about web services? Yes, services that are available over the net. Okay, web services. One of the most important things here in enterprise application development, web services. No idea? In simple terms, here, this is how I can define a web service. So a web service is a piece of business logic, or you can say a functionality, which is accessible over the web or internet through standards based protocols like HTTP. So a web service is platform. Web service, I can say that, is language and platform independent. Web service is actually platform and language independent here. I guess someone has to mute your mic. Harsha, is it you? Yeah, please mute your mic. Thank you. So see, it's a piece of business logic or functionality which is accessible over the web from anywhere. Okay, yes. You see, through web, it is accessible through the web. I can say yes. Here, you see, web service is language independent. When I say language independent, what does that mean? What do people think?
Like it's any of the language.
Yeah, you see, a web service which is developed here using any language. You see, for example, yes, if you develop a web service using Java, it's not just confined to Java. You can access it from anywhere, from any place. You can access it anywhere, from any place. I can say yes. There is no restriction. From using any language, I can say basically you can access that web service using any language application. Let's say if I develop a web application using Java, yes. So it is not just confined to Java. It is not just confined to Java. You can access this web application here, sorry, web service here using .NET application, PHP application, Python application. So that is the advantage of web services. And moreover, they are accessible remotely over the web or internet. So that means how we can conclude, you see, they are highly reusable. You can say that web services are highly reusable here. Yes, that is what it indicates, right? They're highly reusable. So now when we talk about web services, what is the need for this web services? So we have a lot of things to discuss regarding the web services. Let's do that. Okay. Yes. Yes. Got struck. Okay. You see, web services are client and server applications. Now we'll dig into more details of this. Web services are client and server applications here. Yeah, they're based on client server architecture. Remember this point. So you'll find that here web services are actually based on client server architecture here. Yes. So you will find that here this when we talk about client server architecture, yes, the client and servers, how they communicate with each other through HTTP protocol itself. They're accessible through HTTP protocol itself here. Yes. See, you'll find that web services are characterized by their great interoperability and extensibility. So when I say interoperability, so what does it mean? What do people think? Interoperability means, yes, interoperability means it is actually the ability of applications, heterogeneous applications to communicate with each other. Heterogeneous applications, they will be able to communicate with each other. They'll be able to interact with each other, I can say. Yes. So That is interoperability means. Heterogeneous applications means different applications developed using different languages. Different applications developed using different languages here. So you will be able to make this application to communicate with each other, to interact with each other. One application will be able to avail the services of another application here. One application will be able to avail the services of another application. Yes. Okay. So web services, when I say extensibility, what does that mean? Just now try to answer this question. When I say extensibility, what does that mean? Extensibility means trying to provide more functionality on top of it here. So we should be able to easily add some functionalities, remove the existing functionality, okay, by easily plugging in. We should be able to easily plug in new functionalities, add new functionalities, or we should be able to remove existing functionalities. You see, this is possible through web services because you see here, for suppose if you want your application, let's say your application needs a specific functionality. Now you don't need to develop that functionality. If that functionality is already developed by any web service, okay, it doesn't matter it is developed using which language, which is running on which platform, where it is. Easily you can use that web service here in your application, right? This way you can extend your application's functionality by availing the services provided by another web service, I can say. Yes, you can do that. It is possible. So as I told you, web services are platform and language independent. You can access them from anywhere, from any place. There is no issue. So web services can be combined in loosely coupled way to achieve complex operations. Programs providing simple services can interact with each other to deliver sophisticated added value services here. So what does that mean? Loosely coupled means what? So when I say loosely coupled, what does that mean? Loosely coupled means you say you can have you can combine or use the services of or functionalities of various services. Okay, functionalities provided by various services. You can integrate them together and develop an application. So these services can be independently running on remote machines somewhere, but still we can aggregate them. Okay, we can aggregate them and we'll be able to develop an application here. I can say yes. You can aggregate, merge all this applications. You can combine all the services to develop one single application. Still, the services will be running independently. Also, you see, in combine, they provide you a complex functionality, you can say. So that is possible here through web services. That is where your service-oriented architecture comes into the picture. SOA. Yes. So next, here, why we need web services actually? Why our applications are? Why we need web services which are platform independent, language independent? Let's see. You see, when you talk about any modern day business, when you talk about any modern day business, you see here they use variety of programming platforms to develop applications. Some applications may be developed using Java and others .NET, while some other in PHP, AngularJS, Node.js. You see, now these heterogeneous applications need some sort of communication to happen between them. Yes, since they are built using different development languages, it becomes really difficult to ensure accurate communication between the applications here. Now, first point, why you see this business people might have used a different applications here. Yes, why why they may have opted for different uh, languages for developing applications and different platforms as well. What could be the reason? Yes, what could be the reason for this? Come on, you have to think about it. Okay. Yes. What do you think? Why we need why a business, any company might have opted for different applications using different languages.
Because it might be easy to develop some specific application in a specific language, or the security might be more for the application if we develop in that language.
Okay. So there can be, yeah, several reasons. One of the reason what you said might be right. So a number of factors will be affecting it. There can be a number of factors for this. Yes. Just a minute, please. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, yeah, now we are talking about the need for a company to go with different applications. So it could be the time, I can say. First of all, time. See, over the time, they might have acquired or used different applications. When they initially started the business, at that time, they might have gone for Java or C++, and see, this is 10, 20 years back. So 20 years back, any large application, enterprise application, sorry, any big business people or any enterprise, big enterprise, they used to work with mainframes and all a lot. Yes. They need such processing power and all. So, so later on, you see, let's say now in recent past, they need to handle huge volumes of data. And data analysis is one of the most important criteria for the analyzing the data. Data analysis. So in that case, you can't use programming languages like .NET, Java. Plain Java is not sufficient for this. You will need, you know, big data for this. You know, you need Hadoop or you have ETLs. There are various tools. Mainly Hadoop is widely used for data analysis. on huge volumes of data or large volumes of data. So now they need that application which is developed or built using Hadoop. And other reasons here could be cost. You see, a company, let's say, need another application, let's say a web application, and they approach different companies, and you will find that here um, they just were also considering the cost of development. So they found that an XYZ company was offering them to develop a web application with some technologies, let's say PHP and UI technologies, which was little cost effective for them. It costs less for them, so they can go for it. Yes. So this way, even the factors can be different. Why they will go for different types of applications, or they might have another company which is providing them, or which was providing an application developed using Python or Node.js in the front on the server side. They're using Node.js or Python, let's say, and on the client side they're using HTML jQuery. So this way it depends. Okay, not only Java is the option for them. You need several. You have several other technologies also. So they will consider all these things. Okay, the cost and everything matters. Or the company may have a development team. The company itself, that enterprise itself, that business itself may have a software development team which are familiar with some technologies. So they may go ahead and use this development team to develop an application. This development team might be familiar with a particular technology, and they will be using it uh, to develop the application for them. Yes, right. This way, the reasons could be many. The reasons would be uh, the requirements. First of all, matching the requirements. Yes, not all programming languages can be appropriate for developing a particular type of application. Just know as to people. For analysis, data analysis, and all, you need a Hadoop, a framework like Hadoop. Plain Java or .NET could be very difficult. Yes. So in Hadoop, they might be using Python. Java is also used, or Python will be used. Or it depends on the resources, depending on the time, everything. At that time, which technologies are popular, or cost. Even cost also matters. Okay. And also deliverability, the time taken to develop the application. There can be many reasons. Cost, time, you know, um, even as I told you, compatibility, like that particular technology should provide the features which are needed. Okay, should provide that support or features which are needed here for this enterprise. Yes. So there can be many reasons for this. Yeah. Next, due to various reasons, they might have gone for different applications developed using different languages because they all belong to a company. Now they want to, um, integrate them, or they want these applications to interact. Why? Because one application may produce the data which is needed for another application. For example, just now I was talking about a Hadoop which analyzes the data. Now this application needs data. Let's say a very big company, a retail company like Walmart, let's say, you know, they are they want to analyze their sales reports. Okay, Walmart wants to analyze their sales reports. So what they will do here, you see, in that case, Now Walmart needs that Hadoop application needs sales reports, so which are provided by some other application. Let's say there is another application for billing purpose, so which generates the sales reports. Okay, so that billing application now should provide the sales reports to this Hadoop application, so that you see this Hadoop application can be used for analyzing the data. So now this way, one application needs to communicate or interact with another application for exchange of data. Okay, yes. Or let's say you have an accounting package, okay, uh, which was developed here and which needs sales reports and all for maintaining the accounts. So now the billing application should provide the sales reports to the accounting application. So here again there is a need for the applications to communicate with each other to exchange data. Okay, not only data, even services, I can say. Yes. So this is within the company. Okay, within the enterprise, I can say. Yeah. But you know what? Here you will find that an enterprise also an enterprise may have the requirements where their application is supposed to interact with another company application. Okay, let's say there is some XYZ company. They got an application. This company application has to interact with another company application here. Yes, it is supposed to interact with another company application. You know, that is also a requirement. So can you people give me an example where one company application, okay, one enterprise application may need to interact with another company application here? Yes. So and can you people give me an example for this? Application accessing bank bank for credit card. Okay, yeah, that's right. So you might have gone to any shopping mall, right? So in the shopping mall, so you will swipe your card. So this shopping mall is run by some XYZ company, right? So now this shopping mall company application, billing application, now will take your credit card details when you swipe the card, and it has to send these details to the verify these details to the bank. Your credit card details have to be verified with the bank, right? With the bank application. So yeah, this is one example. Can you people give me some other examples? Yes. So it is better to talk about this details. It's very important. Yeah. And what else? Can you just give me some more examples? you know, uh, trading, I can say trading business, especially, this share market. So you'll have traders, right? Uh, Stock traders. What they do now for trading purpose, they might be using an application. There are trading companies. They got their own applications here. So for mathematical calculations and derivations, to understand the performance of a particular share or a stock, they might be using an application for trading purpose. Now, this trading online trading company application, it needs that share details, the stock market price details and all. So you see this company will be getting those details, shares details, okay, from the stock market. They'll be getting those shares details from the stock markets here. Okay, so stock market application will be providing these details to this trading company application. That is another example. Okay, yes. Or you know what? Here, there can be several scenarios here where an enterprise may have partner companies, partner companies in the sense, you see, they are partners in the sense, or even the companies who provide raw materials. For suppose there is some XYZ company which produces some goods. Now to produce this goods, this company needs raw materials supplied by another company. Now you see, this whole process might have been automated. So whenever this company which produces some goods, it needs raw materials supplied by the raw material suppliers, which is a different company. Now they should be able to place an order for this raw materials. Okay. Yes. So for this, the company, it might be using an application, their own application, which will place an order, or which will send the order to this suppliers. So suppliers, they may have an application which will be taking the orders which are provided by this company which produces the goods. Yes. So this way, one company application can send the details, the order details, you see, to another company, or you can share the data or exchange data with another company application. So B2B, business to business purpose will be there. B2B applications will be there. So that's part of the business requirements. You have to do this. Yes. So even you'll have distributors and a company may have distributors, and distributors wants to place orders. So distributors will be using the application which is provided by this company. Okay. So now they want to check that stock or place an order. So this way there can be many different requirements here, that one application needs to interact with another application within the enterprise and outside of the enterprise also. Within the enterprise, the applications which belong to the same enterprise, they may need to communicate with each other, or the applications which belong to one enterprise may need to interact with the applications of another enterprise. Yes, that is possible very much. Okay, fine. Now let's move on. So now when we talk about heterogeneous applications communicating with each other, okay, let's say Java application wants to communicate with Python or PHP or .NET application. So what will be the main issues here? First issue will be data representation formats. First of all, you'll have data representation formats issue. Yes. So because in different languages, data is represented in different ways. In different languages, data is represented in different ways. In Java, we have objects. So the structure of the Java objects could be different from the structure of objects in different language. Python or PHP might be different. Okay, so that is the main concern, first and foremost important concern. When heterogeneous applications, different applications wants to communicate with each other, how they can exchange the data, because data representations are different. The data representation formats are different. Yes. So this is where, what, your XML and JSON comes into the picture. So what they do is here, this heterogeneous applications, to communicate with each other successfully, they use, you know, language independent and platform independent data representation formats, I can say. Both XML or JSON, XML is there and JSON is. These are two different data representation formats, but both are considered as language independent and platform independent data representation formats. Okay. So web services use this XML or JSON to represent the data at the representation and data transportation layers. Yes. So to transmit the data, so they use this XML or JSON itself. So using XML or JSON eliminates any network or operating system or platform sort of dependencies. Now there won't be any issues. Okay. So we can almost every your existing web infrastructure, the network supports this format XML and JSON. Okay. And every operating system supports this XML and JSON formats. Their platform in the language independent, as I told you people. Okay. It's a common language understood by all. Okay. Yes, that is most important thing which you need to know. Next, loosely coupled. You see, loosely coupled means the client and web service are not bound to each other, which means that even if the web service changes over the time, it should not change the way the client calls the web service. Yes. You see, web services, how they are accessed, you will find it. Okay. So, because the complete implementation details will be hidden from the clients, so it won't be a problem for the clients to access that web service even if it changes over the time. Yes. So, because the clients won't be directly calling that methods. So just they'll be placing a request using HTTP or SOAP. The direct method invocations and all won't be there. Direct method, remote method calls won't be there. So that makes this web services loosely coupled, I can say. So adopting a loosely coupled architecture tends to make software more manageable and simpler integration. Any application can be integrated with another application easily. That means one application can avail the services of another application. There won't be an issue. We'll see how will you access that web services. Then you'll understand it. Okay. Yeah. So synchronous or asynchronous functionality. Yes. So synchronicity refers to binding of client to the execution of the service. Yes. In synchronous operations, the client will actually wait for the web service to complete an operation. Yeah. So web services can be both synchronous and asynchronous. Okay. So here when I say synchronous, that means after the client places a request, the client has to wait for the service response. That is what happens in case of synchronous. Asynchronous operations, what they do, they'll allow the client to invoke a service and then execute other functions in parallel. That means after placing an asynchronous request, a client here, web service client, after placing the request here, what it can do is, so it can actually resume with the execution. It need not wait for the server's response. It need not wait for the server's response here. Yeah. And another most important thing which you'll see here is remote procedure calls. Remote procedure calls here. So through web services, yes, you will be able to call the methods on a remote machine. Yes, you will be able to call the methods and execute them on the remote machine, I can say. Yes. So see, when web services enable clients to invoke procedures, functions, and methods on remote objects using XML-based protocols. Remote objects means the the objects which are on a remote machine, okay, somewhere on a remote machine. Okay, so we'll see this document exchange and all later on. You'll understand this. Yeah, you see, when we talk about web services here, it allows us to use this architecture, service-oriented architecture. So SOA, service-oriented architecture style of building software applications that use services available in the network such as web. Yes. So mainly you'll find that here SOA will help you people to build the applications by aggregating the services which are available on the web or internet, I can say. Yes, we can do that. Okay. So it enables business to leverage existing investments by allowing them to reuse existing applications. Yes. You know what happens here? Um, for suppose a company has got, just now we did discuss about it. So let's say a company has got a billing application, accounts. Let's say they have a billing application. Now the company got a requirement. What is it? The company wants to analyze their sales reports. Company wants to analyze their sales reports. So this company is a very big company, let's say. So daily, huge volumes of sales data is generated, which has to be analyzed. The company wants to analyze that sales reports and all. So that's the reason why they went, they approached a company, software company, you know, which offered them to develop an application using Hadoop, let's say. Already this company has got a billing application which is developed using Java. Just assume that it is developed using Java, let's say .NET. Okay, .NET. So now here, what happens? You see, the main concern is now this Hadoop application. It has to use the data. Let's say it has to use this data which is generated by that billing application. The sales reports or sales data which is generated by that billing application. The data, yeah, this Hadoop application has to use it. Okay, and this data comes from various sources. Let's say the data comes from various sources. There are many different branches. Let's say for this company. For this company, you have many branches. So in .NET, how the data is represented in one format, and you see now this Hadoop application needs this data, which is produced by this .NET application. Let's say that too it is running on a remote machine. Okay, yes. So now through the web services here, you can actually interact with the you can make this Hadoop application interact with .NET application and fetch the data, okay, and use it here according to the requirements. Yes, okay. Or you may have a billing application. Initially, this company has got only billing application. Let's say they don't have any special application for accounting purpose, and they wanted a new application for accounting. Or else, you see, take the example of recent things which have happened in India. So previously, you know what, here the companies were using um, a package, let's say some package for taxing purpose. Okay, they're using a particular package for taxing purpose. Okay, now here, see, for taxation and all, maintaining their accounts for taxation, they're using an application. So, but in recent past, you see, government has changed the taxation. Complete rules, taxation laws have been changed. Everything has changed. Now we have GST. Now they need a new application, and this new application, you see, let's say, is developed in some XYZ language. Now you see, this new application, the company should be able to use this new application here. So the existing application, let's say it is developed using .NET, and the new application which you got here, which is specially used for only accounting and taxation purpose, let's say, it is developed using some other language, let's say Java. So now you see, for taxation and all, it needs the data, right? It needs that sales information, everything, whatever it is, the sales invoice, billing invoices, and everything for taxation. So now here, you see, the Java application which deals with this taxation has to interact with another application, existing applications which are developed using .NET or something like that, right? So they need to integrate these applications. So you see that applications are actually developed as services for better interoperability purpose. So that you see, now here you won't have any issues for better interoperability purpose. So you'll find that here, according to this SOA architecture, so each functionality or each component is developed as a service so that they can be integrated to develop one complex functionality which is needed for this application here. Okay, yeah. So you see, it enables business to leverage existing investment by allowing them to reuse existing applications. Yes. So existing applications, you'll find that here can be exposed as web services so that the existing application can be used along with the new applications. Just now as I told you, GST application, it has to be used along with the existing application here. Yes. It can be done through web services. It is possible now, right? Yeah. Okay. So you see, mainly SOA, this architecture promises interoperability between heterogeneous applications and technologies. Mainly this architecture is used for interoperability and um, interoperability between heterogeneous technologies, applications, I can say. Interoperability, ability of the applications, the heterogeneous applications or different applications to communicate with each other, to interact with each other. Yes. So this architecture, mainly is used to develop such applications, okay, which are built using services, okay, which are developed using heterogeneous technologies, I can say. Yes. Okay, fine. So SOA is actually realized using web services itself. SOA, how it is realized? Using web services itself here. Yes. Okay. Now, we just got an introduction to web services. Okay, it has been around 1 hour. I'm talking about web services here. So, but how do we develop web services? What are the different types of web services which are available here? When we talk about web services, you'll find that we have two different types of web services. You know that REST services and SOAP services here. SOAP based web services. REST and SOAP based web services. So is anyone aware of this REST and SOAP services? Can you people talk about it? Just brief me on this, whatever you know. Yes. Okay. A response from REST services is in JSON format and XML is SOAP is XML. But even REST services can render can give you XML response. Yeah, you find that initially I'll show you REST services which can return the response in the XML format itself. Yeah, you can't say that is the main difference. There is another difference. Okay,
REST is an open standard, open, and whereas SOAP, we had to follow some rules in order to develop some SOAP services, whereas REST is an open standard.
hmm, in developing both types of services, yes, we will follow some standards, some protocols definitely. Actually, RESTful services. When we talk about REST services, these REST services are based on REST architecture, I can say. The REST services are actually based on REST services are based on REST architecture. Yes, REST architecture. REST stands for representational state transfer. It is an architectural style which is used here in developing REST services. So the services which are developed using this architecture, REST architecture, we call them as RESTful services. Yes. So this architecture purely is based on HTTP protocol. Okay, it is built to work with HTTP protocol, I can say, and you have a few more things which you need to know about this architecture. When we develop the applications, you'll come to know about it. Uniformity, uniformity is also one of the key things here in the REST architecture, I can say. Yes, it's just purely an architectural style which is used for building web services. Next, we have SOAP. SOAP-based services are based on SOAP protocol. So SOAP is a protocol, Simple Object Access Protocol. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol here. So SOAP protocol, you'll find that it is based on XML, purely based on XML, with the clients and servers, the web service client and web service will interact with each other through this SOAP protocol, I can say. You'll find that here a web service client if it wants to place the request, what it does, it creates a SOAP request. Okay? It follows the SOAP protocol. It constructs a SOAP request, and it will send it to the server. Always in SOAP-based web services, you will find that here that web service client will construct a SOAP request to send the request to the server. Okay, yes, and you know what, here you will find that the web service, it sends the response back to the client by following SOAP response, by constructing SOAP response. Even the web service, what it does, it constructs a SOAP response to send the response back to the client. The web service constructs the SOAP response. In the SOAP response, you'll have that response data, so which will be sent to the server. So the SOAP request and SOAP response are standard formats. Request and response formats are standard formats which are defined in the HTTP protocol. Sorry, in the SOAP protocol. I'm sorry. They are defined in the SOAP protocol, I can say. Yes. Okay, they are defined in the SOAP protocol. This request and response formats. Always in SOAP-based web services, the client and server, they communicate with each other, they interact with each other using the SOAP protocol. Yes, but the existing web infrastructure, does it support SOAP protocol? Is everyone aware of it? The existing web infrastructure, does it support SOAP protocol? Can we send SOAP messages over the web or internet? Can we send SOAP messages over the web or internet? Is it possible? What do you people think? You know, actually, the existing web infrastructure, it doesn't support SOAP protocol. You know that? Then how the web service can send the messages here SOAP messages, how this client and server will be able to exchange SOAP messages here. As I told you people, so these web services are web-based. They're definitely web-based itself. So they communicate with each other through this web or internet itself. Okay. Um, in that case, how this client and server will be able to communicate with each other, how they will be able to exchange messages. So actually, this is where your HTTP comes into the picture again, because SOAP messages, they cannot be directly transmitted across the web or internet. Okay, SOAP messages definitely they cannot be transmitted across the web or internet. So the SOAP messages are actually wrapped in HTTP messages. SOAP messages are wrapped in HTTP messages and they're sent across the network, I can say. Yes. Then they're sent across the network. Yes. Because existing web infrastructure, it supports HTTP. Yes. It definitely supports HTTP here. No doubt about it. So that's the reason why SOAP messages are wrapped in HTTP messages. Okay. So that's the reason why you'll hear this term SOAP over HTTP. SOAP over HTTP. So what does that mean when I say SOAP over HTTP? That means SOAP messages are transmitted across the network or web using HTTP itself. So SOAP request will be wrapped in SOAP request here. It will be wrapped in HTTP request, and SOAP response will be wrapped in HTTP response, I can say. SOAP response is wrapped in HTTP response. Yes. Okay. So first of all, I will talk about RESTful services itself. Okay, REST services. We'll see how to develop REST services here. Yes. We'll see developing RESTful services, I can say. In Java, yes, we got support for developing RESTful services. How do we develop RESTful services? We use JAX RS API for that purpose. JAX RS API with Jersey framework, JAX RS plus Jersey framework, which is actually a reference implementation here, I can say. It is reference implementation. So JAX RS API alone is not enough. JAX RS is standard API. JAX RS is standard API. Standard API means which is part of your Java. But JAX RS alone just cannot develop an application. Okay, along with Jack Saris, you need Jersey or any reference implementations. Not only Jersey, there are several other reference implementations also. Like we got RSTZ. RSTZ is also one of the reference implementations. What do we mean by reference implementation, by the way, here? Yes, anyone got any idea? What do we mean by reference implementation? Yes.
Abstract methods are defined there.
In Jersey framework, abstract methods are defined. That is what you're saying.
I think in JAX RS API, abstract methods are defined.
Yeah. Yes, you will find that here actually JAX RS API. You will find that it is a specification. Specification means it contains a set of interfaces here, which are implemented by. They are implemented by Jersey framework. So Jersey framework provides set of classes which implements JAX RS API interfaces, I can say, in simple terms. Okay. Yes. So
Can you please repeat?
yeah. So Jersey framework, it implements set of, or it provides set of classes which implements JAX RS API interfaces. This is something like you can relate it to JDBC API, JDBC with JDBC drivers. So what are JDBC drivers? So JDBC drivers, they are a set of classes which implements JDBC API interfaces, right? Similarly, here JAX-RS is a framework, or you can think of it as a reference implementation. Means it provides a set of classes which implements JAX-RS API interfaces. It implements JAX-RS API interfaces, I can say. Yes. So I hope you people got it, right?
Yes.
So Java people just provided this API with set of interfaces, and anyone is free to provide this reference implementations. So Jersey people have done that. REST-easy has done that. Even if you want, you people can also become provide the implementations here for that JAX-RS API. Yes. So now, if you want to work with Jersey, first of all, you need this Jersey libraries here. Definitely, you need this Jersey libraries. I'll show you. So you can go to the official site. I'll show you. You see, JAX-RS is a framework. It's more than just reference implementation. That is what it says. See, these are the details which I want you people to understand here regarding the Jersey framework. Jersey framework, you see, sorry, Jersey RESTful Web Services framework is an open source production quality framework. Production quality means which is yes, used in developing real-time applications and all. Yeah, it is used for developing real-time applications. It's a production quality framework for developing RESTful web services in Java. Yes, that provides support for JAX RS APIs. Okay, and serves as a JAX RS reference implementation. Okay, it's JAX RS reference implementation as I told you people. So that numbers JSR, we say Java specification request. So basically, before developing any API, so you'll have this JSRs. So numbers will be there. Yes. So so far these are the number of Java specification requests they have. So when it comes to Jersey specification, JAX RS request specifications will be 311, 339, and they have been implemented by this Jersey framework. Yes, they have been implemented by Jersey framework, I can say. Yes. So that means in order to develop a RESTful web service here in Java, you need JAX RS along with Jersey framework. Not only Jersey, as I told you people, you can search for other reference implementations. You can type in JAX RS API reference implementations. You'll find them. REST-easy is one such reference implementation apart from Jersey. So, but I will be showing you people Jersey. So you can try using REST-easy also, but Jersey is widely used. You can go for it. Yeah. So these are the things which are needed for developing RESTful services here using Java. Yes. And you see, you can think of RESTful any web service as a web application itself. So we will be hosting them on the servers. So already we have installed Tomcat server integrated with the Eclipse IDE, right? Now we can use the same IDE to develop this RESTful services. Okay, and we can deploy them in the Tomcat server. It is very much possible. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, fine. So this is an introduction to your web services today. And tomorrow I'll start with developing this RESTful services. Okay, yeah. So I'll show you how to develop the RESTful services. I'll be using Maven tool with Eclipse. In combine, we'll be using them to develop a RESTful service. So, and notice tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I would like to take a special class again for web application development. Okay, special class on web application development, web development. So I will make it 3-hour session. So I'll start it at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So I hope everyone is fine with this time, right? Just wanted to confirm with you people. Is it okay, all of you? Can I have a confirmation? Day after tomorrow. For 3 hours I'll take the class. I'll start at 5:30 p.m. CST early. You got it? Can I have a confirmation from everyone, please? Day after tomorrow means for me it is Tuesday today. Yeah, Thursday means your Wednesday evening. Yeah, Wednesday at the rate 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Central Time, Wednesday for you people. For me it is Thursday morning. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll have the class as usual. So tomorrow I'll show you people how to develop RESTful services using the JAX RS plus Jersey frameworks along with Maven, Eclipse and Tomcat. So these are all the things we'll be using. Okay, I'll stop it here today. So let's meet tomorrow. Thank you all. Bye bye. So it's already there in the Google Drive. I have created a separate folder with the name web development. You can check that. There is a separate folder for it. Check that. It is already updated, uploaded. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Bye bye.